Hi, my name is Charlotte Sutton, and my research was on memorials' effectiveness in modern day culture and society. A little bit of background and context. Memorials are structures or events that help us honor people who have died. These structures can strengthen collective memory and identity formation, as well as help people feel a sense of closure. They transform painful memories into symbols we can understand. This on the left is or on the right, I guess, is a picture of the Washington Memorial. It was built in 1888 to commemorate George Washington, and it's currently the tallest concrete structure in Washington, D.C. at 555 feet tall. And this is a prime example of a traditional memorial for later background. My main stimulus material that inspired my research was Of Memory in Our Democracy by Colin Powell. It discusses the role of memorials in his life, and that it's important to take time out of our days on Memorial Day, and that it's not just a day off. It inspired me because of the idea that if memorials had such a strong impact on Colin Powell's life, then who else can they inspire? As well as how might memorials be more effective in inspiring others? And my working research question was, how do memorials impact societal remembrance? My thesis was based on the premise of social psychology. Memorials throughout the world may not be dull, monotone reflections of the past, but rather a space of connection and emotion that incorporates the human senses to allow visitors to get a real grasp on the impact an event had on society, as well as allow for human connection. No one is sure of how many memorials there are in the world due to the idea that anything can be a memorial, and as long as it's remembering or commemorating a person or place. However, war cemeteries maintained by the Commonwealth War Graves maintains alone 23,000 memorials in over 150 different locations and territories. An effective memorial incorporates sight, touch, or a level of interactiveness and sound. This can be via water features or where it's placed, whether it's in an urban or rural area. This is a picture of the Oklahoma City Bombing Memorial. This is their outside feature, and it commemorates the individuals who lost their lives during the bombing. And it was a bombing on a federal building on April 19th, 1995. Each chair is hand dipped in bronze, and so each one has a unique look and feel. And it's interactive because a visitor can decide whether to sit in a chair or simply observe. And during the day, you can't see the lit up bases of the chairs, and then at night you can. And it's also outside, so you can feel the interactiveness of that area as well. Memorials also aid families, those directly impacted communities, societies, and in processing grief caused by an event that took place. An example of this is a mother of an Oklahoma City bombing victim stating in an interview, "I dreaded seeing the memorial, yet when it opened, it took me by total surprise. I never thought that I could be happy again. Then I walked in and I suddenly felt good." Counter memorials. Counter memorials help aid in facilitating greater representation for otherwise suppressed communities. And pictured is a visitor touching the reflective surface in the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in DC. And this is an example of a counter memorial, and it has the Washington Memorial in the background. Counter memorials are ones that question dominant historical accounts, reflect ambivalence about national histories, and oftentimes are more interactive than traditional ones, such as the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in the last slide has a reflective surface, so it can allow visitors to reflect on themselves and not just reading the text. And they allow others besides the wealthy and empowered to be represented. Normally, memorials only commemorate wealthy or non-suppressed individuals, so these help include everyone. and they're commonly placed near traditional memorials, such as in the last slide, with the DC memorial in the background. How a visitor interprets the information and experience provided by memorials can change their viewpoint on them. And this is why memorials need to focus on how an area might feel rather than just the information that they're incorporating into them. And human emotion is a tool for education, and designers of memorials need to consider the feelings of those that might be viewing them and the situations surrounding them, such as stigmatism or political agendas or beliefs. Instead of forming or searching for any criteria or standards in the design of public memory places, it is necessary that the designer considers feelings and situations requested to be given in these places in order to strengthen social memory. In conclusion, memorials need to be interesting, inclusive, and interactive, have a lasting effect on society, and allow for turning to the past for guidance, remembrance, and heightened incorporation into modern day culture. Thank you.
How valid and reliable are the sources that you used within your research, and how do you know that, and which sources did you find that didn't work?
Mostly all of my research or sources came from EBSCO, except for a few such as some TED Talks that I watched. And a few didn't work out because they just weren't relevant enough to my topic, such as how media can also be a memorial. And I was reading this article that was stating the Titanic movie was a memorial, but I just don't think that it was relevant enough.
If you had more time, what additional research would you conduct related to this issue?
I think I would delve deeper into the political part of memorials and how a person's political beliefs can alter their interpretation of different memorials.
Thanks.